Okay, Miss Pariseau here for video number 2 for the volume of, or finding the missing pieces, given the volume. On this worksheet, we're going to focus on cylinders and cones. In the last video, I showed you cylinder, cone, and a sphere. Okay. All right, so you might want a highlighter, you want your formula sheet, you need a calculator, etc., etc., etc. So throughout this is kind of like how I would recommend the setup. Again, anytime you're given information, you want to start off by naming it, identify what you know, and then work the formula. Start with the formula, fill in what you know, and work backwards from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do A together, and then I'm going to have you guys pause and try B and C on your own, and then check back in. Alrighty? Okay, so we have a cylinder here. Again, as I'm reading, I've been given the fact that it's a cylinder. The diameter is 4 centimeters, and the volume is 37 and 68 hundredths, and I'm being asked to find the height. Okay, so it just kind of helps me. So name it. I'm working with a cylinder. I know that this seems like an extra non-necessary step, but it gets you to pause and think. All right, my radius, well, if my diameter is 4, I'm just going to go ahead and write my radius, so that means it's 2 centimeters. I don't know my height, so I'm going to use H for height. And the volume that was given was 37.68. And you can write the units there if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the formula for a cylinder. And then I'm going to fill in what I know. Just show your substitution. Don't do any math yet. And I like to separate out my terms. So 2 squared and then times the height. All right, so step 1 and step 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and simplify. Again, I don't want to move anything, so I'm going to go ahead and simplify my exponents, and I'm going to combine it with my pi. I am not hitting the pi key. I repeat, I'm not hitting the pi key. Okay? Now for me, since my goal is to get this height all by itself, I'm just going to move this over to the other side as one whole term. Because let's say there's 4 times 12. Well, I would just do 4 times 12, which is 48, and then I would divide by 48. But you could actually go ahead and hit the divide key, but just know that if you're going to move it together, you have got to put those parentheses, okay, in your calculator. So again, just to show you, if I do 37.68 divided by 4 pi, what my calculator is seeing is 37.68 divided by 4, and then multiply that by pi, right? I don't want that. Okay, again, think about it. This is like 37 divided by about 12. So I should get somewhere around a 3 answer or less. So I'm going to put that in there. Okay, yep, look at that. 2.99847. Okay, so 2.998 dot, dot, dot. And that means that those canceled out. That's my height. Well, I think it's pretty much safe to say that we can go ahead and round that up. Okay, because when we go round even to the hundredths, that will round that. Think of that. That's 99. What's rounding it up going to make? That's going to make it a 100. So it's 0, 0. The 1 comes over there. Just a reminder about your rounding rules. So my height is 3. 3 what? 3 centimeters equals the height. Because our units, we're not finding volume. We are finding a unit of length. So unit of length is one-dimensional. Okay. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, and I highly recommend that you do the same thing for B and C. You're going to work your way backwards with those. Let's see, this one is finding the radius. I will come back on for the video to walk you through that one. It's just because you're dealing with reversing what the radius is. But this is also, the answer key is also on OneNote, so if you don't want to hear me blab on and on and on, then you can just check your answers on OneNote. Alrighty, go ahead and hit pause. I will do the same, and we'll go on from there. All right, so I went ahead and started B for you. I've gone ahead and done all the math. Alrighty, we are trying to find the radius, so I've gone ahead and I simplified 20 times pi, I smooshed it together. Then I took that smoosh term and divided it the other side. And in my calculator, I get 35.9817, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now, it's pretty safe to assume this, but if you're not one that likes to do that, I left it in my calculator there, okay? But 35.98, isn't that pretty much 36? So we're saying r squared is 36. So we could probably safely go ahead and say, well, then that must mean that r, my radius, is 6 inches. If you're not fully convinced, then what we need to do, remember the opposite of squaring is taking the square root. So I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of both sides. When I do that, the square root of r squared is r. Now in my calculator, again, you do not need to type in this whole number. You're going to go ahead and hit the second button and the x squared button. Notice that gives you the radical symbol. That looks like mine's in math print mode. That's okay. But does everyone see, and I kind of mentioned this in the other video, but you couldn't see it. And above the negative sign in green is the letters A and S. That's short for answer. So I want the calculator to take my previous answer and put it in there. So I'm going to hit the green button and the negative sign and then hit enter. And I get 5.998. And if I round to the hundredths, that turns that 99 into 100, which means that turns that into a 6. So it is safe to say and conclude. And that's the thing. You don't really need your calculator at this point. If you can see that this is 36 and you know that the square root of 36 is 6, you're fine. All right. So the radius is, and let's see, it was 6 inches. Okay. So that's what you're doing. You can go ahead and check your answer for C on OneNote. Alrighty, let's go ahead and flip the paper over. Take a second and make some observations. Look at the problems in D, E, and F. What is the difference between these problems and the ones on the front? All right, do you see it? That one doesn't have it. Okay. I wonder if that one's supposed to. But anyway, D and E are both having the volume r in terms of pi. Whereas on this side, all of these were worked out. They did not have pi in the given volume. Okay, so this means that we really don't need the pi key in this case. So let's go ahead and go through the steps for D. Actually, you know what? Let's go to E because that one's a cone and we didn't do a cone on the other side. So just to model through with that one. So we have a cone in example D. All right, my radius was given to me as 24 centimeters. It does not tell me the height, and my volume is 570 pi. It's in the given information. Make sure you write it down. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and start with my formula. 1/3 pi r squared. Oops, sorry about that. Not sure how to mute that there. Hold on one moment. Okay, I'm back after muting that. All right, let's keep going. Fill in what you know. So the volume is 570 pi. I've got 1/3. I'm multiplying that by pi. I have my radius squared, and I don't know my height. All right, let me simplify that. Equals 1/3 times pi. 224 squared, 576. Okay. Now, you have a couple of different options. You can go ahead and do 576 times 1/3 if you wanted to. I believe it goes, if you know the trick, that's 12 plus 6, it's 18. So it will divide evenly. The thing is, let's say this number did not divide evenly by 3. Then you don't want to round. You don't want to do a decimal, okay? So if you're not sure, I would just say get rid of the fraction first by multiplying by the reciprocal, okay, and do it that way. But in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and smoosh these guys together. I didn't do anything over there. 576 divided by 3. Notice it comes out evenly. Let's say it was 575 divided by 3. All right, no, that doesn't come out evenly. So I would not want to divide by 3. I'd want to go ahead and just get rid of that fraction by multiplying both sides by 3. Oh, I already forgot my answer. What was it? 192? Yeah. All right, so that's 192. I did not use the pi yet. Okay, so I smooshed everything that I can do off to one side, and the height is off to the other. Now remember, when we're solving, we can take that smooshed bit and just go ahead and divide by everything. We don't need the pi key because pi divided by pi is 1. It's going to cancel out, okay? So we really just need to do 570 divided by 192. Ew. That's a weird height. Okay. Wait, did I do 24 squared right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Alrighty. So 2.96875 is my height. And it doesn't say anywhere in here, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we can estimate that. It doesn't say. Oh, if we round to the hundreds, it's there. But I would go ahead and even just say that, you know, the closest height. We tend to take these to like the nearest tenth. All right, so the height, if you left it like that, I'm fine with that. If you want to round to 3, again, you've got all of this supporting work to show how you got to that 3. So I can't really argue with that rounding logic there. Alrighty. Okay, so go ahead and try D and F on your own. Notice though, and I don't think it's a mistake. I'm going to check that one there. I will check with my answer key. Let's see. Let's actually go over to OneNote. You can probably see this here. Your cheat sheet is in there, so I'm not like hiding anything from you. Ha. That is different than what is on my paper. Let's see. A cone with a diameter. I'm zooming in here. Interesting. Interesting. Not really sure. I must have printed the wrong one. What about this one? Cone, diameter 48. Oh, wow. Miss Pariseau, you goofed. You goofed, Miss Pariseau. Anyone see it? Anyone see what I did? I see it. I can't read. Boop, boop, right there. 5760 pi. I wrote it as 570 pi. No wonder my height was a little funkalicious. Ah, okay. Okay. All right, so, yeah, I'll figure out F there. I'm not sure really what happened with that one. Let's go back to my teacher challenge. And no, none of you can claim it because I just recognized it, so you don't have time to respond. I'm going to go back into my work here and just fix that. 5760. 5760. 5760. And then boop, 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 boop. Do, do, do. I was wondering why it would be so weird like that. I usually don't do ones that are that funky. All right, 5,760 divided by 192. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Okay, I get 30. And it's a nice, beautiful number. 30. There we go. No approximation needed. We are no longer unsure. Oh my gosh, that's the bell. Gotta go. All right, so 30 centimeters. Okay, so this one looks like it matches the answer key. This one, I don't know. The answer key is something completely different. So I got to go back and double check that. But either way, I will have the answer for you so you can check your work. All right. I hope to see you Friday, as long as all the babies are better and no one is ill. Okay. Be good. Bye.